Today on Reeces Review, we'll be looking at the Reeces GR8000 Probow Xtreme. Some of its main features are the 80% carbon, the 24mm extra low bow, the concave face, and finally the extreme backhand strike zone. So let's get into it. The GR8000 Probow Xtreme features an octagonal handle with the Reeces Pro dampening handle technology. The stick features 80% carbon, which is the second highest in the GR range. The Probow Xtreme features Reeces' lowest and biggest bow. It has a 24.75mm low bow located 200mm from the bottom of the stick. It features the extreme backhand strike zone. This is a thick edge along the stick to aid backhands. This is one of the thickest sticks I've ever used, with a thickness of 20mm. The stick features a concave face, which is unique to the Probow Xtreme. The concave face gives the stick a curved edge or lip that runs all around the face of the stick. Much like the Probow, it features Pro Edge protection, improved feel area, and the Reeces Durazone heel protection. If you want more detail on these features, go look at our Reeces GR8000 Probow review. I'll link it above. Just like the Probow Xtreme also features a 50-degree micro head. Dribbling with this stick was good, but not great. The concave face didn't really help or affect the dribbling. However, the thickness of the stick made it feel very bulky in my hands. Even though the stick is surprisingly light for how bulky it feels, it's just a little bit awkward when dribbling. Normal ball control when you use the stick is fine, however when you start dribbling you notice the bulkiness. Aerials. You would think the extreme low bow and concave face would aid aerials. However, I really don't enjoy the stick for aerials. The low bow and concave face do still enable you to get under the ball and lift it with relative ease. However, the control and feel just wasn't there for me. I think this was due to the bulkiness of the stick. When it came to spinning, I thought the sharp angle of the face of the stick would be an issue. However, the concave face seems to counteract this, and it makes spinning with the stick relatively easy. However, it's not the best I've used. Passing and receiving. This was definitely a strong point of the stick. This is where the extra thickness of the stick adds to the power of your passes. You still notice the bulkiness, however it gives you a certain amount of control on your passes. Even though the stick has a sharp angle of the face of the stick, the ball didn't lift like I thought it might. The stick overall was great for passing. Receiving was certainly a strong point on the stick. The 80% carbon and the concave face really aided this. It allows you to receive the ball with such control and gives you the confidence to really test your abilities when receiving. The stick excelled when it came to receiving, and it was an aspect I really enjoyed. Slapping. I rather enjoyed slapping with the stick. At first, I thought the sharp angle and face of the stick would lead the ball to lifting when I slap. However, this didn't happen. The stick was great for slapping. The extra thickness of the edge gives you that extra bit of power when slapping. However, the only negative I have is the bulkiness. This is just my personal preference. It didn't affect the performance when it came to slapping. However, it's not for me. Players who enjoy bulkier sticks would love slapping with this stick. Overheading. This stick was great for overheading. I was able to get some good distance on my overheads and the stick was rather consistent. I feel the concave face in combination with the low bow and sharp angle of the face of the stick really helped with this. The stick made throwing overheads easy. It hardly required any effort for me to throw some of my best overheads. I could throw an overhead from the one sideline to just short of the other one with ease. Penalty strokes. This is one of the best sticks I've used for penalty strokes. It's so easy to go top netting with the stick, and you can get a lot of power behind it without even trying. Even when going low, the ball tended to lift. I was able to take some quality penalty strokes with the stick, and I really enjoyed it. Drag flicking. With the design and shape of the stick, you expect a lot from it, however, it was a bit of a letdown. It felt quite awkward when using it for drag flicking, and I didn't enjoy the bulkiness of the stick. The stick was rather inconsistent, even though every now and then I'd have a good drag flick. I couldn't get into a rhythm with the stick, and drag flickers out there know how important it is to get into a good rhythm when drag flicking. We filmed drag flicking last with the stick, so I was quite tired as we had been on the Astro for a couple hours already, so this could have contributed to the performance. However, when you're playing a match and you have to take a drag flick, you're often tired, and you want to know you have a stick that is dependable even when you're feeling tired and drained. Shooting. This was one of the hardest hitting sticks I've ever used. The ball just flies with the stick. Even though it only has 80% carbon, the extra thickness of the stick adds power to every shot. Even when I mishit the ball, I still got a lot of power in my shots. I was really impressed with the amount of power the stick was able to produce. However, the concave face and sharp angle of the stick, along with the low bow, made it very easy to lift the ball, and it led to me lifting the ball a lot more than I wanted to. Accuracy wise, the stick could use a bit of work. It was a bit too inconsistent for me, but I'm sure with some practice you can master it. Overall, this is one of the best sticks I've used for shooting, and it was great fun to shoot with it. Backsticks. With the extreme backhand strike zone, I was expecting a lot from the stick. However, it didn't live up to expectations. The thick edge allowed me to get a lot of power behind the shots, but other than that, it didn't help much. I found it very difficult to lift my shots, and when I did, it was often too high. However, every now and then, I could get it right and hit some great backstick shots. But overall, it wasn't that good. Overall, the stick was rather inconsistent. However, when you get it right, you rarely get it right. It has that high risk, high reward feel. Shooting was a standout feature of the stick with the amount of power it could generate. Distribution of the stick was solid. Passing, slapping and overheads were all very good. Penalty strokes and receiving were two areas I particularly enjoyed. However, the stick felt a bit bulky for my liking, but some players might enjoy the more solid feel of the stick. Thanks for watching. We really do appreciate the support from all of you. Just a big thanks to everyone who has subscribed, as we've just passed the 100 subscriber mark. I know it might seem small to most of you, but it really means a lot to me, as you're all supporting me in my passions and the start of this journey. If you aren't subscribed and you've watched this far, you might as well subscribe. Also, keep an eye out as we're working on something different that will be coming soon. But for now, time for some bloopers.
Oh. catch you on the next one.